Instead of a comeback, Jungkook and Jimin did this today, as the world speculates and prepares to welcome news of the massive comeback of two of K-pop's biggest icons, BTS's Jungkook and Jimin. Today's reality is reversed. July 13, 2025. A day that was initially filled with expectations for a big announcement from legendary vocalist duo BTS, it ended with an unexpected surprise. They did not appear in the studio, did not appear in public events, did not give any teasers. But that doesn't mean they disappeared. Instead, Jungkook and Jimin chose to present themselves in the most unexpected and touching way. Some fans who were in the small port city around Busan said they saw two figures with black hoodies and masks enter a local art center that looked deserted from the outside. At first, they did not realize who the two men were until one of the staff in the building accidentally heard someone mention the name Hyung. With a distinctive tone that has only been heard in personal interactions between Jimin and Jungkook. It turns out that today, instead of making a massive musical comeback, Jimin and Jungkook visit a community of deaf children on the outskirts of Busan. Without a camera, without publicizing their arrival. Even the HYB agency did not provide a single press release. But the truth came from the broken hearts of the staff and volunteers there who witnessed their actions firsthand, give time, sing in sign language, and sit with the children laughing. One of the volunteers wrote on social media with great emotion. "I couldn't hold back the tears. They sing with their hands, not their voices. The song is like a whisper from the heart." Jimin held the hand of one of the girls and co-marked the lyrics of Spring Day. Jungkook stood at the back, accompanied by a small guitar strum, then knelt down to stare at the children one by one. This is not fan service. This is real love. You won't find footage of that moment on YouTube or television news. There was no media crew. All done in silence, in a space full of sincerity that does not need replays. In the hearts of those who see, this moment will continue to play like the most beautiful song ever sung, without sound. The night came slowly, as if bowing respectfully to two people who today chose to be human first, before becoming idols. In a small town far from the glittering Seoul stage, Jimin and Jungkook's presence doesn't just leave an imprint on the children they meet, but also to the staff, teachers, and even parents who had never thought that two world stars would be present in their midst. No publicity, no hidden agendas, and no expectation of any reply. One parent of a special needs child who participated in the activity shared her story in a stammering voice on a local podcast. He told how his son, who is usually difficult to express, suddenly moved to tears after Jimin touched his hand and said a sentence in simple sign language, "You are beautiful. I'm here with you." No camera captured that moment. But the mother swore that in her lifetime, he had never seen his son smile so beautifully. Meanwhile, Jungkook was seen briefly exiting the main hall, standing briefly under the reddened afternoon sky. A young teacher who accompanied the children saw him sitting on a park bench for a while, close your eyes, then look up at the sky while playing small notes on the guitar. He doesn't sing, just play a slow, quiet melody. And when asked by the teacher, "What are you thinking right now?" Jungkook replied quietly, "I just want them to feel that they are loved, even though they can't hear our voices." Those words sound like verses that were never released. But that night, the phrase became the only song that shook the whole heart. About the same time, Jimin took the time to send a voice message to one of the senior fans he had met at a fundraising event. The woman is being treated in hospital and is known as a true army who has been following BTS since their debut. It's very short, but sincere. "Mom, this is Jimin. I can't come in person, but I hope today you know that we are thinking of you. We don't perform, but we still want to love in a different way. Like you love us. See you later, yeah." The message left thousands of fans speechless. Because obviously today, Jimin and Jungkook refuse to be celebrities. They choose to be someone who is present, even if only briefly, for those who are almost never addressed by the world. And even though there's no music, no dancing, and no stage, today it still feels like the most beautiful show they've ever given. To close the day, the official account of the community of deaf children uploaded a photo. Not their portraits, because Jimin and Jungkook did ask not to be photographed in person. But the photo shows a large blackboard that they write with the children, in handwriting mixed with gestures. Love doesn't need sound. We hear you with our hearts. The post then went viral. Not because it was written by a famous star, but because each letter there carries an immeasurable meaning. On a day that everyone expected to be full of cheers and comebacks, Jungkook and Jimin chose to create silence that was even louder than the roar of the concert. They show that attention doesn't need a camera, love doesn't need a spotlight, and true kindness always comes when it's not demanded. So if today you ask what they do, the answer is simple. They love. With silence. For real. Sincerely, and for today, that's more than enough. The night sky in Busan looks quiet, unlike usual. But precisely in that silence, there was one small town that felt a warmth that words could not describe. People who usually don't follow the entertainment world are thrilled, because today it's not about fandom, it's not about the industry, but rather about two young human beings who decided to give light, not from the stage, but from their own hearts. Jungkook and Jimin had already returned to the inn when the sun had completely set. They do not go to luxury hotels or places full of care. According to one of the local neighbors, their car was parked in front of a small traditional inn house, with simple lighting and a tiny garden beside it. Jimin can be seen sitting on the veranda, looking at the old camellia tree in front of the house while occasionally moving his fingers as if forming a note, while Jungkook appears to be arranging a notebook on his lap. His old habit when musical ideas began to emerge in the midst of silence. Nobody knew what they were thinking at that moment, but many believed a new song was being born. Not from marketing strategies or industry pressure, but from human feelings that flow sincerely without a script. Maybe not a song about teenage love or the glitter of the stage, but a song born from their meeting today with children that teaches one important lesson. It's not just about the ears, it's about the heart. News of their activities slowly spread. Not through major news portals, but through leaked private messages from touched hearts. A teacher at the school they visited sent a message to the teaching community in Daegu: "I'll never look at music the same way again." Today, I witnessed two people who are usually greeted with hysteria, choosing to greet with tranquility and hugs. They don't just come, they are really present. And such is the effect of their presence, not crowded, not forcing, but imprinting. Inside, quietly changing the way people think about popularity, about responsibility, and about what it means to be a caring human being. On the other side of the world, Army International began to hold a silent listening party, where fans listened to ballads and solos from Jimin and Jungkook in silence, as a form of tribute to their silence today. Nobody makes fan-made or fan-cam edits these days. No one is discussing comeback rumors. All chose silence. Because they know, sometimes, silence is the most poetic form of love. It's getting late. Inside the small inn, Jimin and Jungkook reportedly sat together at a small table, accompanied by warm tea and a bowl of taeguk made by the owner of the house. No big words. No global plans were discussed that night. Just two best friends who have grown up together since adolescence, who today share another side of their truest selves, and among all the hustle and bustle of a world hungry for content and surprises, they show that the most valuable is often invisible.